Hey, Brett Messmore, Technical Taekwondo. Today's video we're going to be talking about some different footwork skills that you guys can do, whether you're practicing them by yourself or with the fellow practitioners of the art. It really doesn't matter because you can do these inside class. You can, if you're an instructor, or you can just do them practicing by yourself. So let's just go ahead and get into it. The first footwork drill we're going to start off with is a side step and fire the kick. So very simple. I'm going to the right, I step with the right, and then the left. Fire the rear leg kick, and then back to center. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, pop. Okay. I can also mix it up a little bit, and you don't have to do the turning kick. I'm just going to stick with the turning kicks for demonstration purposes. You don't have to stick with the turning kick. You can add different variations with these, and you should. Second one we're going to do is the same motion. 1, 2, pop the lead leg, and back. Okay. I also want to train going to the opposite side. So instead of cutting to the right, I cut to the left. And go. And back to center. Again. 1, 2. You can start off with a step, figure out the footwork, accelerate it, and then almost jump into it. There's different levels to the footwork depending on what you need and what your abilities are. I can also, again, mix that up. 1, 2, pop the lead leg. I can also do this without the 1, 2, and kick. I can go 1 and fire the kick right away. I don't have to wait. I just got to get my foot off to the side, which takes me off the line of their attack, and bring up the other foot. Going the other way, it's exactly the same thing. Step to the right, kick with the left. Okay? So I can go 1, 2, 3, or I can shorten it and just go 1, 2. It all just depends on what I need at the time. What's the situation? But work those different footwork skills. Get used to stepping off of the line. Never stand in front of them unless you have no choice. Next basic footwork is just going to be a shuffle step, fire in the kick. Okay, so back foot moves first, then the front foot. One thing you want to avoid when you are doing this drill is don't step with that front foot first, unless you're using it as a feint. They see it coming, okay? Unless you're always doing it, and you're doing it to set them up. A feint should be something that's done to mask intent. If you have the habit of always stepping before you kick, then you need to make this one of your feints when you spar. Because if you always step before you kick, use it. Until you can get it trained out of you, use it. I would prefer my students get rid of that and only step consciously versus subconsciously. Personally, control to me is moving with a purpose, not making movements that you're not aware that you're making. To me, that means that you don't have full control of your body, and martial arts is about control. Fighting is about control. So if I don't have control, if I move subconsciously, I don't have that control. So I can come in for the shuffle step, back foot moves, front foot kicks. I can accelerate that, make it a skipping motion. I can accelerate it one even further and turn it into the quick kick where I'm almost running and jumping into the attack. So those are all forward motions, a straight attack coming in. Another one I want to do when I attack is the half switch. So coming in this way. So I'm switching feet, but I'm taking a half a step forward when I do it. So it's a half switch, half step. If I was just switching, I would do it in place. If I'm doing the half step on the attack, I'm going to take the back foot a little bit past my front foot. And notice my toes are pivoted so I can bring my knee straight up for the kick. I'm not landing sideways with my back foot. I'm turning it. So the front leg is coming behind, the back leg is coming in front. And I can travel or I can stay stationary, all depending on my range and what I'm trying to do. Don't accidentally advance, consciously advance. Okay. On the other side, 1 and 2. Okay. That's the half switch. Advancing, half switch staying stationary is just your feet, same spot, just to change places. We also have the full switch. Here, coming up with the back leg. I can also full switch and come up with the front leg. Back leg's obviously going to have more power. In fact, you want to use the switch almost like a spring or a trampoline to jump into the next one. So it's not 1 and stop. It's 1, 2, bounce off the floor. Same on the lead, 1, 2. But I'm gonna probably do a little bit of a hop or a vertical jump on it. It's just faster, okay? Other side. Okay. And I'm not going for power on these drills, I'm just going for speed and accuracy. Another offensive footwork is simply stepping forward and attacking. You don't want to cross the distance slowly, so that should be a running step. But initially, you want to walk it, figure out how the hips move, figure out how your hands move, and then speed it up a little bit until you're at the point where the highest level of this would be a quick kick or a fast kick where you're actually in the air and jumping or skipping into the attack. Okay, coming from this distance, I can come in for the skip turning kick. I can come in for the hop turning kick. That was neat. Oops. So there's all kinds of different kicks you can do as far as, but we're talking about the footwork advancing in. That shuffle step motion, the skip, and even this next one is the lunge, where I pick up that lead foot and I drag the back foot. This can lead to the cut kick, where I drag that from a lunge and pop the side kick. Lunging and firing that kick. And I can modify it, I can do the hook kick, which in my opinion, if you get get your cut kick working, you should also be able to come in and do a hook kick with that same rhythm and the same timing. A good one for drill, but a little risky for sparring, is the spin step, where I pivot the feet, step straight through, pivot, and come in with that turning kick. Anytime you're turning backwards, lift your hand as you come across, just to make sure that they're not popping something up and you're walking into it. Spin and coming around that way. That will lead into your tornado kicks, but the spin step will actually set up your tornado kicks. Another one that will set up your tornado kicks is backside roundhouse, which is another good combination to train. Once you have the basics figured out, now we're going to work on cutting in at a 45. So whether I step or I prefer the lunge and come in back to the center line. So 1, 2. I can also go 1, change feet. Okay. So I'm cutting that 45, whether I throw the backside or the rear leg or the lead leg, doesn't matter. And yes, both sides. Okay. Does change it a little bit. On this side, the first one I just went right left. The second one I went right left, changing feet as I went. If I go to the left side, it's 1, 2 here. It's step switch or step and then step behind. So 1, 2. Again. If I end up getting jammed on the backside kick, just throw the dog leg backside. Don't worry about pulling back, getting the right distance. So a couple of different options when you're setting that up. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped. I hope this beginners, intermediates is kind of what this drills are designed for. However, advanced ranks can train this and develop it up to a high level, fine tune it so that it gets rid of all wasted motion and it works really, really well. I'm a big believer in the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid, because simple works. You get things overcomplicated and they work less and less. Again, thank you guys for watching. If you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. And until next time, God bless and keep on kicking.